Kizamde! Hop on the beat!
It's been quite a while, so let's finally get back to some JoJo Fun Facts. In this video series, I try to go over the most obscure and interesting knowledge about JoJo there is, so let's get right to it. In the first episode of the Netflix original show Call My Agent Bollywood, an illustration of Joseph and Cars can be seen in the background. This art originates from the Shueisha Jump Remix re-release of Battle Tendency from 2005. In one of my previous videos, I went over all the times that Araki paid tribute and drew another manga artist's character. Now I'd like to go over some of the times that others paid tribute to Araki. JoJo is a hugely influential series, so if I went over absolutely everything, there'd be no way we'd reach the end. So these are just some of the tributes to Araki featured in an official capacity. To celebrate JoJo's 25th anniversary back in 2012, a booklet titled 25 Years with JoJo was released. Inside were a collection of drawings from various artists. Akira Akatsuki, creator of Medaka Box, drew Jotaro. Osamu Akimoto, creator of the classic comedy manga Kochikame, drew Jotaro. Sugumi Oba, the writer behind Death Note, submitted a doodle of Josuke, and Takeshi Obata, Death Note's illustrator, drew Rohan. Eiichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, drew Jotaro. Masashi Kishimoto, the creator of Naruto, drew Giorno and Gold Experience. Bleach creator Tito Kubo drew Ghiaccio. The artist group Clamp drew Jolene. Hiroshi Shibashi, who is one of Araki's former assistants, drew Gyro. The creator of Toriko, Mitsuboshi Shimabukuro, drew Jotaro. The creator of Gintama, Hideaki Sorachi, drew Cars. The creator of Yu-Gi-Oh!, Kazuki Takahashi, drew Part 8 Josuke and Crazy Diamond. Hiroyuki Takei, the creator of Shaman King, drew Jolene with Stone Free. Ryuhei Tamura drew Josuke with his character Beelzebub. Yoshihiro Togashi, creator of Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter, drew Pulpo. Akira Toriyama, the creator behind Dragon Ball, drew Jotaro and Iggy. Kuroko's Basketball's creator, Tadatoshi Fujimaki, drew Giorno. One Punch Man's artist, Yusuke Murata, drew Jotaro. And finally, the novelist Nisio Isin, who created the Monogatari series, submitted a written comment. For years, there's been mystery surrounding the 2007 Phantom Blood movie, which released only in theaters and never received a home release, making it lost media. No official reason for this has ever been given, but it is most likely tied to a controversy surrounding the JoJo OVAs, which were protested for featuring the Quran. This resulted in the OVA being pulled from sale and the manga to be edited to remove depictions of mosques. This may have caused plans for the release of the film to be scrapped. The film's director, Junichi Hayama, was asked about this by a fan at SakuraCon 2023 in Seattle. He said that he couldn't say much, but that the film was originally 70 minutes long before being pushed to 90 minutes, and that he had to take over for the previous director that left the project. For a reason he can't say, Shueisha collected all the assets and prevented a DVD release from being completed. In some of the previous videos, I went over the various JoJo escape room attractions that have popped up over the years. Many of these were based on specific parts and even featured some original characters, as well as some interesting JoJo-themed item like this Kira fingernail clippings hot dog. One more I haven't gone over yet is Invitation to Dio's Mansion, a maze attraction held at J-World Tokyo in 2018. In the attraction, groups of 1 to 4 would enter a dark maze which offered a Dio and Jotaro ending which was chosen in advance. Inside the maze, visitors would play a dice-based minigame themed around F-Mega where they could win various prizes. Very little can be seen of the maze, but based on some images you'd be able to see a cutout of Dio, as well as the message carved by Vanilla Ice and Avdol's arm. Some of the food items this time include an F-Mega car-themed dish, a Dio's bed sandwich, and the Vanilla Ice pasta. Another JoJo attraction that popped up recently was one called JOJOTREE. This was a collaboration between JoJo and the Tokyo Skytree Tower to celebrate the anime's 10th anniversary. It ran from May to August of 2022 and decorated the inside of the tower with images of the anime and locations for photo shoots with the characters. As a fun Easter egg, photo shoots with Part 1 and Part 3 Dio were only offered during sunset due to Dio being a vampire. During night, the tower was lit with different colors which corresponded to the anime's 6 main protagonists. During the event, one of the Skytree's mascots, Sorakara-chan, was also seen dressed as Jolene. Of course, like all JoJo attractions, it also came with some unique food items and merchandise. In Part 4, when Koichi and Hazamada look at Rohan's manga pages, the pages used are actually reused from earlier in the story. We can see that they come from right after Josuke's battle with Okuyasu. In the last Fun Facts video, I went over all of the appearances of Rohan's manga Pink Dark Boy across JoJo media. With the newest season of the TV drama, more was seen with its adaptation of Hot Summer Martha and the Rock Paper Scissors Kid arc. If you've read Hot Summer Martha, you'd know that it places a big focus on a new character created by Rohan called Hot Summer Martha, who is changed by the editing team due to it resembling Mickey Mouse. I've always been intrigued by this design since it's so strange and it's hard to tell what it's even supposed to be. In the TV drama, this character is actually an antagonist in Pink Dark Boy's story and can be seen fighting with it on its 95th volume. We also got 2 more pages of the story showing Pink Dark Boy with the girl and leopard that appeared before. Here we see that it is being made from the combined shadows of moths drawn to light. Araki has had a number of assistants over his long manga career. Some of his most notable ones have actually gone on to do some interesting things. One of these is Hirohisa Onikubo, an assistant from the time of parts 2 and 3. He went on to collaborate with Araki on the manga The Lives of Eccentrics, illustrating 5 of the chapters with the story provided by Araki. He has since gone on to work on the JoJo anime, creating many of the iconic stand catch images. He also had his own original work, a racing manga called GP Boy, which makes a cameo in Part 4 as a volume falling out of Hazamada's locker. Another is Rekitaki, a partner of Onikubo who did similar work on the anime. He's the one behind the backgrounds of some of the credit sequences like Last Train Home, I Want You, and Modern Crusaders. My favorite work of his though might be this iconic image of the world. He and Onikubo also made an original art piece for the JOJOTREE event I mentioned earlier. One of the best things about Rekitaki though is that he's very active on Twitter and has made tons of great JoJo fan art. The last assistant I'd like to point out is Kei Sanbei. He worked with Araki from Part 3 up until Part 4. He's most well known for going on to create the popular mystery series Erased. Araki has had a lot more assistants and there's a lot I left out from what I covered. Since there's so much, I'm planning to do a full video just covering the history of each and all the little stories they've shared from their time with Araki. Like all fandoms, JoJo fans have their own inside jokes that people are generally aware of. As I pointed out in the last video, the Japanese JoJo fans actually have some unique ones, like their nicknames for Hermes and Tusk Act 4. Another Japanese fan meme that's surprisingly popular is an obsession with Kira's Coworker, a minor Part 4 character that only appeared in 2 chapters. He's first seen in Kira's introduction where the girl coworkers try to ask Kira out to lunch. After Kira brushes them off, he tells them that Kira is a boring guy and goes on to list out Kira's age and relationship status before saying Kira is someone who blends into the background of life. He makes one more appearance when Kira is fleeing after severing his hand, with he and the other coworkers horrified by his appearance. This character became strangely popular among Japanese fans and can be seen in a variety of fan art, even some by Araki's former assistant Rekitaki. On an unofficial fan popularity poll, he ended up ranking 25th above Anasui and Avdol. One possible reason for his popularity might be his extensive knowledge of Kira, which might be interpreted as him being Kira's close friend or a stalker. His popularity has also gotten some official recognition. He appeared as a collectible character in the mobile game Stardust Shooters, and also as an official line sticker released in 2022. In the 1999 adventure game The Silver Case by No More Heroes and Killer 7 creator Suda51, 2 references to JoJo are featured. First is an image of a cover of Weekly Shonen Jump featuring Josuke and Jotaro, which can be found in the game's files. A brief glimpse of this texture can be found in the game's second case, Spectrum. When you enter the little boy named Koichi's room, a stack of these magazines can be found on the floor. The other reference comes from the same case, where players are asked to answer a 100-question quiz full of pop culture references. The game's English localization replaced many of these with things non-Japanese players might be more able to understand. In Japanese, however, one of the questions asks, what is Giorno Giovanna's stand, with the answers being Gold Experience, Star Platinum, and Crazy Diamond. In Araki's tie-in manga to the Louvre Museum, Rohan Goes to the Louvre, 2 original characters are featured. One is Noguchi, the interpreter working for the museum, and Goucher, the curator of Asian arts. These 2, along with the 2 firefighter characters, were actually based on the real people that accompanied Araki during his tour of the Louvre. In the weekly Shonen Jump release of Part 5, Bucciarati says that Pulpo's treasure is hidden in Taormina, a town in Sicily. This was later changed to be on the island of Capri, which is what all future adaptations use as well. The Part 5 gang never actually ends up visiting Sicily on their journey through Italy. It does, however, make an appearance as the setting of the Fugo spin-off novel Purple Haze Feedback, as well as the Tiziano and Squalo-focused short story The Witness for the Gangsters. Most people are aware that the majority of character names in Part 5 are based on Italian words for different food items. However, there are a couple different exceptions to this. Sorbet is actually a French word, and Doppio's first name, Vinegar, is in English. In the Italian version of the manga, these are changed, with Sorbet going by Sorbetto, and Doppio's first name being changed to Assetto. In 2022, Araki was one of many manga artists to submit a tribute illustration for Yoshihiro Togashi's puzzle art exhibition. The artist chose many characters from Togashi's work. Araki submitted this illustration of Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho. The acclaimed anime director Satoshi Kon actually got his debut since a producer liked his work on the JoJo OVA series. He had been in charge of supervising the script, continuity, and production of the 12th episode of the JoJo OVA depicting the battle between Dio and Kakyoin. The co-founder of Madhouse, Masao Maruyama, was impressed by his work and offered him a job. Kon accepted since he wished to control all aspects of a project as a director, eventually leading to his directorial debut with Perfect Blue. JoJo6251 is JoJo's very first art book, releasing back in 1993. Recently, Viz Media released an official English localization of the book after years of delay. While it is nearly identical to the Japanese book, it does include some changes. For instance, many of the characters now use their copyright-free localized names. The characters Anne and Forever didn't actually have names when the book was released. This new version is updated to include those. However, they neglected to do this for other retroactively named characters such as Milena, Caravanserai, and Shizuka Joestar. The book also accidentally forgets to use Midler's localized name and can be seen on 2 different pages using both Midler and her English name, Rose. Many mistakes that were in the book have been fixed, such as it saying that Bruford used his Dance Macabre hair attack on Joseph instead of Jonathan. The original book's sound effects gallery also referred to Jonathan eating pasta when really it was Joseph. They did keep some mistakes though, like incorrectly classifying Wired Beck, Vanilla Ice, and Nukasaku as zombies when really they are vampires. The marketing for the PS3 game JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle included some unique campaigns. One of these were some creative billboards featured on subway trains, showing the sign indented by stand fists, opened with Sticky Fingers zipper, and dented with a steel ball. Twitter user Insect Pride compiled a full record of every character and stand's screen time in the JoJo anime. Joseph won handily as the character who appeared the most, with Jotaro, Jolene, Polnareff, and Josuke trailing behind. For the stands, Stone Free won, with the second surprisingly being Tenor Sax, the stand of Kenny G. Although this actually makes quite a lot of sense. Since this stand actually takes the form of the location itself, the entire fight against Terrence Darby has it almost constantly on screen, as opposed to most other stands which pop in and out at specific moments. This is quite funny when you contrast with its user, who has a meager 42 seconds spent on screen. The Part 4 live-action movie featured a post-credit scene teasing the appearance of Yoshikage Kira. In it, you can see the hand of one of Kira's victims. As it turns out, this hand was actually played by a professional hand model, Ito Seira. The Japanese release of Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate included some DLC that crossed over with JoJo. One was a hammer named after and featuring Crazy Diamond, which healed allies by attacking them. The other was a mask based on the stand Harvest, which players could equip to constantly gain money. Both items came with a quest that had to be completed to obtain them. The Let's Go Hunting quest was given to the player by Shigechi himself, asking them to pick up the Kameiyu stamps from the Morio lottery to craft the mask. The quest giver for the Obsidian is Unbreakable quest was named A Young Man with a Pompadour. It required the player to hunt the difficult Brachydios monster to collect diamonds and craft the hammer. This monster may have been chosen for its head shape resembling Josuke's pompadour. When these items released outside of Japan, their names and appearances were changed completely, and the quests were altered to feature some generic dialogue. In Part 7, Sandman's sister appears very briefly at the beginning of the story and isn't named by any of the characters. However, in an issue of Quarterly S from June of 2005, it is actually said that in her tribe's language she is known as She Who Dances with the Leaves. The character Gyro Zapelli is well known for his signature steel ball weapons. However, in Japanese, these are not actually referred to as steel balls. The name of his weapons are always written in kanji, as opposed to the title of the part and the names of characters like Lucy and Steven Steele, which are written in English. In Japanese, they are actually known as iron balls, and this can be seen reflected on some of the official merch. That's all of the JoJo Fun Facts for now. If there's any topic you can think of that you'd like to see me go over in a future video, comment it down below. You can join the Discord to receive updates on new uploads and support the channel on Patreon for Discord perks and the opportunity to submit questions. This video's question comes from Sponge Cake. He asks, what is my favorite JoJo volume cover and my favorite art piece Araki has done? I'd say my favorite would be volume 45, which covers the Bites the Dust arc. It's very unique and it's one of my favorite kinds of covers, which are the ones that don't feature the protagonist. As for an art piece, that's really hard, but I'll have to go with the chapter cover for Dead Man's Questions. Since Kira, and especially this iteration, is one of my favorite characters, and I really like all the different flashes of things from the story being printed on his clothes. Thank you for watching. This is the part of the video where I thank my $5 and up patrons. Thank you to Alex Ramirez, Doorbell, Crayon, Rigovids, Zucato, Pumpkin Doge, Marrow, Almighty Quarth, Cowrie, Halil, Gatlin Grove, Lime Jinjo, 17-Hit Combo, Sponge Cake, Cakext, Feliciano Rabaja, Rihanna Meme, Christian McDonough, Navi, Emmanuel Etienne, Pulse Dog, Great Riek, D, Dr. Zombie, and Georgino Laws.